yourself this gift of relaxation. So you can become more and more relaxed. Let go of stresses. Let go of your to-do list. Just pay attention to your breath. Go ahead and take 3 deep breaths at your own pace. When you're ready, at the end of that last breath, you may slowly open your eyes. I'd love for you, if it's right for you, just simply kind of tune into your body and then set one intention for the day. See if you can keep it basically to one word. So your intention might be openness. You know, I want to be open to ideas for today. Or your intention might be connection. You want to be connected to someone, connected to other people. Or maybe I want to put myself out there. Okay? So take 15 seconds right now to think of your intention for today. Nice. I love it. I love it. All right, now, if we could take the next 30 seconds, I'd love to hear maybe from 1 or 2 people in the room. What are your intentions for today? Let's take 1 or 2 people.
So Ronen very humbly describes himself as a teacher, which of course he is, which explains the space he comes from and how easy it is to connect to what he says. Ronen is actually a teacher and EdTech coordinator at Gunn High School in Palo Alto. Yes, he's come all the way from California, only to be with us here today. He's also the founder of EQ Schools, which works on spreading positive psychology among students, teachers, parents across the US and globally as well. He teaches positive psychology, AP, economics, creative confidence, and we shall see glimpses of this through the day. We're fortunate to have you here, Ronen, so thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause once again for a beautiful exercise and for centering us in this physical and mental space. So thank you so much. Ronen, in fact, is interestingly enough an embodiment of the 3 pillars that we will soon hear about and you have read about, which is design, empathy, and for the sake of this conference is leadership, but I would in fact not speak more on this. I think the right person to share more about this is the thought, the idea behind, the energy behind this. Would like you to welcome with a round of applause the Director Principal of Podar School, Mrs. Avnita, Habib. So design, technology, empathy, we don't see these fitting, but there is someone who for us embodies it. And let's see where these ideas have come from. Now,
thank you so much. Thank you, Akanksha. Good morning and a very, very warm welcome to what I would call an eclectic gathering that I see in this room, but not a random gathering, because there's a common thread that's flowing through all of us. And I think that's why we are here. Somebody said, I'm so glad that you accepted my, I wanted to come and you last minute, accepted my, presence here. And I said, we want people here who want to be here, okay? It's not people who are forced to be here. So that's something that runs across all of us. So it's a gathering of individuals who are passionate, who want to improve the future of learning. We're all like-minded, and so therefore we're all of us in this room. So very, very warm welcome to all of you, and I have to thank you all for making LSI more than just another conference. And that was something that was very, very precious to me, that I didn't want LSI ever to become just talk, just another conference where we meet, we listen, we go back, and nothing has changed about us. So thank you all for believing in this and making LSI more than just a conference. It's almost like a movement. It's almost like an initiative that is gathering momentum, and I think it signifies a thought which is innovative, which is collaborative, which is adaptive, and I think these are the things that we need to learn in times of rapid change. LearnShift India, and if I could just give you a genesis for those of you who've come here for the first time, the idea came from the fact that we wanted to have conversations and interactions around education and meaningful interactions, and there was this intense desire to do that with people who believed in the same things. And I met with Simon Breakspear, who's an educational thinker. I met him in Australia, and I found that his thoughts resonated with our thoughts, and we invited him to India, and I said, you know, you organize so many of these conferences across the globe, can we do this in India? Because it's very, I mean, we are a few fortunate ones who get to attend some conferences globally, but we have many more who would like to learn from such conversations, and can we do something like this in India? And that's how LearnShift India was conceived. And the first chapter of LearnShift India was at Delhi in 2012, and since then we haven't looked back. So as the movement gathered momentum, we realized that the conversations were becoming much more purposeful, much more directed and specific, and much more goal-orientated. And so as our conversations continued, we felt that we were moving towards more concrete ideas. And hence the need to have many more such meetings of minds, many more LSIs, and therefore we thought we'd have mini LSIs, and that is how LSIx was thought of. And we're hoping that we can continue the LSIx series along with the LSI series. I've been very fortunate, and I keep saying this, that I think being part of the Podar group, we all feel truly blessed, because I think what we dream of and what we want very badly, the universe conspires to make it happen. I've come across and I've met with some really great, inspiring minds, and they've been ready to partner and to work with us. So Simon Breakspear was one of them, and along the way I met with Ronnie, and our family has grown in that sense. So LSIx signifies the journey of LSI from a two-person idea, Simon and myself, a small idea which has now become a team-led enterprise. It's not just Simon and me, it's now the whole team of RN Podar School, the whole family of Podar group, and all of you who have brought it to this point. And so its scope has widened to include not just ed leaders, but also teachers. Last year, as Akanksha mentioned, we had, some of our teachers had the good fortune of traveling to California and to be trained under Ronnie and his team, and they came back completely transformed. Again, a belief that I have very strongly, I hold very strongly, is that it's at the ground level that change has to happen. It's not just at the level of leaders, it has to percolate down, trickle down to teachers. And that's what we saw. When these 5 teachers came back, I realized that I could take a back seat. These teachers started to drive the change. The 5-member team, and we call them the famous 5, and a few more joined them and became a team of 8. And we thought, let's just not keep it for our teachers, let's spread the learnings and whatever, and learn from others. And can we scale this a little more? And we had the first LSIx Mumbai chapter in August of last year, went on to Pune, Ahmedabad, Indore, Nagpur, Aurangabad, came back to Mumbai in the last 2 days. I think he came full circle. I think the experience that we had at LSIx Teachers Workshop in the last 2 days was mind-blowing. And I'm going to request who's there at the console, if they could just play the video, just to give you a glimpse of what happened. Just before that, I'll just share with you, there's a short video where teachers are showing a prototype, and I'll give you a background of what it was. Teachers were asked to interview some students as part of the design thinking process, interview students, and find out what their waking up experience is like on a day-to-day basis. And then to redesign their children's waking up experience to make it better, to improve it, using makey-makeys. And we had to go through this whole process of design thinking, with empathizing and ideating and prototyping. And a little glimpse of that we'll see here. Our terrace, our multi-purpose hall, and I'm so happy to have that.
Because he wants to feel more refreshed, energetic, attentive and focused during the day. The name of the prototype is A New Dawn Production, and the tagline is The Yoke of Body and Mind. Okay, we have prototyped an app that has an electric wiring connected to his bed, which is activated by an alarm. Once the alarm goes off at 5 a.m., it activates soothing music coupled with mist and fragrance. So since Dakshin says that to get him going throughout the day, he loves the feel of the cold water hitting his head. and light soothing music. So we built an electric panel. We have an electric panel that's connected to his bed. This electric panel is controlled by his alarm. One second, I have to hold it. So, I'm working. Sorry. Yeah. So that sets his alarm. Monday to Friday it sits at 5. This alarm can also be changed during the weekend. So he wants to get up at 8 or 9 in the morning. And once this alarm goes off, then he needs 5 minutes of snooze time. During this 5 minutes is when we want to recreate an experience for him. The music starts to play. And after a minute and a half, the mist starts to flow. And then we have the music again. For another minute. And finally, at 4 minutes is when the time goes up. And that's when he has to wake up.
Okay, so just a little bit of how teachers learn to play like children do, and something that I always have maintained, that if we want learning to be joyous for our children, that we also have to make our PD programs, where teachers are supposed to be learning, we have to make them as joyous for our teachers too. And I think that's what they did in the last 2 days. So this journey of teachers going through the LSIx workshop, what was special about it? And from the convergence of technology and empathy comes design, and that's how we conceived this whole talking about technology, and we're talking about living in a time where there's a trend towards big data, and I came across this concept in a book which Ronen incidentally had gifted me. It's a book on creative confidence, and I came across this very interesting concept of hybrid insight, the approach of hybrid insight. So we're talking about technology on one hand, and we're talking about empathy on the other hand, and we seem to think that these are two conflicting or two extreme ends of the spectrum, and how do we reconcile these two? And the approach of hybrid insights is actually talking about empathy in a world of big data. And I'm just going to read out a little bit because I felt it's very relevant for all of us, where in the classrooms we're talking about using technology, big data to analyze, and a lot of things are related to that. And where does then empathy fit in? Okay? Does empathy research conflict with the trend towards big data? Historically, there's been a divide between quantitative research and qualitative research. But is it necessary to disconnect the human stories from the data? I think that's important. We have data, but if we could embed stories from our classroom into that data, that's where we have the convergence. Design researchers have recently begun bridging the gulf with what is called hybrid insight. It's an approach that integrates quantitative research into human-centered design. Hybrid insights allow us to embed stories into the data, bringing the data to life. And I think that's something that as we move into an era of data analysis and data interpretation and big data, let's just see if that data also tells us stories from the classroom, human stories. So I thought I came across this and I felt so strongly about it, I wanted to share this with you. So going back to the 3 pillars, and we've been extremely fortunate in our school that over the last couple of years, we've met with external partners and collaborators, and it's just happened to us, and I always say that we're a blessed school. There are these 3 pillars, and we had 3 external partners who actually signified and who helped us to create our stories around these 3 pillars. And the first one was the Ashoka group, the Ashoka Chainmaker School. So to be a part of the Ashoka Chainmaker School actually made us more conscious about empathy, because that's what they're looking for, building and seeing in their schools. And though we were one of the schools selected because they saw some empathy there, but we hadn't consciously realized it. But having consciously realized it now, I feel that we've started to talk the language much more. Our children have started to become much more conscious about empathy. Because yes, it's there, it's in us. Yes, we are compassionate. Yes, we are empathetic. But if we bring it to our conscious level and not just at the subconscious level, it definitely adds more meaning. So our association with Ashoka Chainmaker Schools, and when I look at technology and our association with Google and our journey with Google, which signifies technology, our association with Merit and Ronnie, and that brought in the design thinking process into our conscious minds. And of course, I would say Ronnie is the embodiment, like Akanksha said, of all three. Mindfulness, empathy, technology, he's an EdTech trainer, and a design thinking specialist. So we've been very fortunate that we could, something that we discovered when we were doing the workshops with the Podar International School, we realized that we were talking about these things, and then we also started to think, where did these come from? And this came from working with external collaborators in terms of these three, and these are just a few examples. I want to thank our team Podar, and I think we're so fortunate because today if I travel to any part of the country, I feel that there is a Podar school there, and there is family there, and I feel so reassured to see that, to feel that we just have, we're just a phone call away. And I think the bond, the feeling of camaraderie and the feeling of reassurance is so much more because we're now a growing big family. I would like to thank at this point our management, Dr. Pavan Podar, whose vision has actually seen this happening. Mr. Gaurav Podar, Managing Director, who's here and who's been supporting us and encouraging us with this initiative, because I don't know how many managements would do this, but to encourage innovation, creativity, flexibility, giving us the space to try out new things and to do events like this, I think we are really, really grateful to you, sir. There are schools in Mumbai, and I feel really, this feeling of belonging so strongly when I see Vandana and Swati and all our Podar members and Philia and Dr. Mendi and Anand. I mean, we've all grown together in this organization, and it's very, very reassuring to see you here. Thank you so much for being here and supporting us. My team, Anand Podar School, where are they? Can we see these 8 of them first? All of them, and of course, all the others in school. I think traveling early hours of the morning, unearthly hours. I think we've taken flights at unearthly hours, working through the day, laughing through the day, learning and improving each session. Each time we took a session, and every successive session was better than the previous one, and I think we've all learned and grown. So my entire team of Anand Podar School, thank you so much for making my dream come true always. Our speakers this morning, Vishnu, Sonali, Ojha, Vishnu, thank you if you are here. We were a little nervous. Willie, where is Willie? Yes, and Shabi. Thank you so much for being here. We're really looking forward to your sessions this morning. This is about teachers, this is about education, and I want to celebrate teachers. I think it's all about teachers at the ground level who making this happen. And at this point, I want to acknowledge and celebrate a teacher who's actually put India on the global map. She was one of the 50 finalists of the Global Teacher Prize. Rashmi Kathuria, she's here with us. She's come from Delhi. I have known her before. I have known her much before she was selected in the top 50. But and I think more importantly for me, more than the Global Teacher Prize, I think She's recognized as one of the most innovative, enterprising, inspiring teachers, and I've been closely seeing her work. She works as a maths teacher at Kulachi Hansraj Model School. Like I said, I have followed her work and seen the great body of work that she's done with children and continues to do so, winner of many, many awards and accolades. She, to me, represents the perfect role model of a teacher, and we want to celebrate. Thank you so much for being here. Couldn't make it, she was all set to come. Last minute she had to cancel her ticket because she's not well. Maya Menon, Willie, Usha, where's Usha Pandit? Yes, Usha, thank you. And we have such lovely conversations on social media. Venkat has got here. Ramesh, thank you for being here. And I've always found your advice to be so helpful. Thank you always for giving me your support. Thank you to all of you who have supported us, people who've come from different parts of the country. I have a lot of friends. Francis, there's Francis, thank you so much. Yes, Francis, and so much that to learn from you. Suman, coming all the way from Delhi, and I think she's been supporting LSI from the very beginning. Anjali Prakash, thank you. You've also been an integral part of LSI. Neera, Alka, Reena, all of you, thank you so much for being here, and everybody who's been here. And finally, I'd just like to mention that the overarching theme today is going to be about building creative confidence. We're talking about creative confidence of teachers more today, but it also has to finally move towards building creative confidence in our students. And like I said, what you will see today and whatever we've done in the last few months leading to today has been the work of the people in my school. I haven't contributed anything this time. I started, yes, when I started Learnship in 2012 with Simon and I worked on it. But today I just could take a step back, and it's the effort and the result of the hard work of all my team members here. And I think that's a showcase of creative confidence. How do we build creative confidence in our teachers? Thank you.